Okay, so now what we are going to see is we will understand what are all the major components we work as part of our Postman. Okay, I'm going to show you through the desktop version, so which is uh, also same in your web also, because we don't see any difference in the layouts. So if you know one part, then automatically it will be the same in the web also. Whatever the actions you do in the desktop, the same thing will reflect in the web version also. Okay, so now let us say if I open my Postman initially, so the screen will look like this. See, we have created these two workspaces earlier. So first of all, you need to understand the layout properly. So there are majorly you need to focus on three things when you are working with Postman. First, you need to understand what is a workspace, how you're going to create the workspace, and you need to understand what is a collection, and then you are going to create the requests. So these are all the three things where you need to understand how do you operate in your Postman. So if you look at here on top, you will have an option for workspaces. See, there will be an option for you to create workspace. So click on this create workspace. So first of all, you need to understand what is a workspace. What do you mean by workspace means? It is as simple as when you are creating a, directory or a folder, you wanted to keep all your files. So that is what your workspace means. Same in simple. So let's say if I wanted to make a directory here and I wanted to keep all my Postman related items. Okay, I have created a directory. Under that, I am going to create some collections. Under that, I am going to have my requests. So like that, you are maintaining all your files in a particular folder. So that is your workspace. So you may have n number of workspaces also. So how did we create? You will have to select this blank. Okay, let me go back again and do it from the beginning. Click on workspaces, click on create workspace, and then select blank workspace, and then click on next. So once you click on that, you will have to give the name for this. So what I'm going to give is I'm going to give the name as API project. That is my workspace. And if you see, there are multiple options where whenever you are creating the workspace, only me, that means personal, that means this workspace cannot be shared to anyone. You will only able to see this. You have to log in with your ID, and then only you will be able to see this. Only invited team members private. That means, for example, you may create a team and provide access to particular people. For those people only you will be able to do it. Okay, and everyone from your team. So let's say you have 10 members in the team. If all the 10 members are able to see, that is for this option. If at all out of your 10 members team you are giving only permission for 3 people, then that is for only for invited team members, and only invited partners and team member partners. So that means you are going to give both the permissions. And finally, anyone on the internet. That means it is like public. So generally what happens, you will work with in a sharing mode. So you'll have to share the Postman collections. Okay, what is that? All those things we will see later. For at this point of time, you just try to understand what are all these options. Okay, I'm going to select only me for now and then click on create button. See, now what will happen, you will be able to see the workspace. The workspace is created. Okay, so you have an option here and you will be clicking on this create button. So now if I wanted to change something, let us say I wanted to change the name of this workspace. So you select this name and go here, and then if you wanted to change the name of the workspace, let's say project API, I wanted to make it as project API. Okay, so this is how you will be able to change the name of the workspace. And if at all you wanted to delete the workspace, so to delete your workspace, what you have to do is you have to go to the workspace, and there will be an option for you. Let me go back, go to your settings, and then at the bottom you will see there is an option for you to delete workspace. See, how did you come here? So you will have to go here, settings, and then come to the bottom and you will see the delete workspace option. So what you are going to do, you are going to click on delete, and whatever the name you have given here, the same name you have to provide, project API, and then click on delete workspace, and then automatically the workspace will be removed. Okay, let's do it one more time using the API demo. So just click on that, and then you will go to settings, and then you will have to come down and then click on delete workspace, and then you will have to give API demo. Let's say if I give the name in a different manner. Here it is API demo and I have given only API D, then you will not be able to see the delete workspace button is enabled, right? So you have to give proper name, then only the name, the button will be enabled. Click on this, then automatically the workspace will be removed. Now, once you understand how to create a workspace and how to rename the workspace and how to delete the workspace. So three operations we have understood. Now what we are going to do is, once I go to my workspace and I am going to create a new collection. See, there is an option for you to create a new collection here, and you will have an option of click on this plus button and automatically, one second. So this is for a request. So go to collections, and here you will have an option plus button. So click on this plus button and it will allow you to create a blank collection. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it as, let's say my project name is some bank bank API. Okay, so that is my collection, and then automatically your collection will be created. So similarly, you can create the collection from various options. Okay, so here once you select here, you will see this option, or else you will have to go to file and then new, and you will have an option of creating a collection here also, right? So collection. Okay, so I'm creating one more collection. It is like insurance API, and you will have this option from this main menu also. If you see, once you go to file and then new, you will see there is an option for you to create a workspace also. So you can create this using the plus buttons, or you can do it from the navigations also. Workspace you can create collection, and you can also create the HTTP request also. What is this we are going to see now? Okay, so now you have created one collection. Okay, so once you create the collection, similarly you understood, right, how are you going to uh, change the name of the collection. I will change it as demo bank API, and then if you wanted to remove the collection, you just click on this button and there will be an option for you to delete it. Okay, so click on this delete, then automatically you should be in a position to delete the collection. So you are now clear with how to create a workspace and how to edit the workspace, edit or rename, and then you know how to delete the workspace. Similarly, you are clear with how to create a collection and how to rename a collection and how to delete the collection. Okay, and finally you are going to understand how are you going to create a new request. So the workflow will be like this. First, you need to have a workspace, and then you need to have a collection, and under that you will have the requests. So this is what you are going to follow in every project. Okay, first of all, you need to have your own workspace. Under that you are going to either you will create your own collection or you will take the collection from the previous project. How to do that we will see in the future videos, but as of now you will have to understand how the flow will go, right? The first one, the second one, and then the third one. So the third one, if you see, there is an option for you to create a add request, right? Add request. If you click here, then automatically you will be able to create the request. Let's say if I am going to create it as user get or get user, whatever you wanted to write. So you'll have to select this HTTP methods. So you already know there are couple of methods which we frequently use. You will be using get method, which is used to retrieve the information, and post method, which is used to create the request. Put is used to update the request, and patch, which is used to do a partial update, and delete, which is used to delete the request. So these are all the frequently used items which we are going to see. Let us say I'm going to go with the sample one, RESRUQ, and then we will see res req dot in, and then I'll take one example here, the get request. So come down, and then there is a get request, right? So click on the get request. So once you click on the get request, you will see the URL here. So just open this URL and then copy it, okay, and then go here and then click, and then if you see, there are query parameters. So query parameter, from page 2 we are going to retrieve the details, and if you are going to hit this send button, what is going to happen? You are going to get the response back. So what is the response you got? You got the details from the page 2 of that particular users list. And if you see the response code, so status code is 200, okay, that means the request is successful and the server has responded as required. And also if you see how much time it took, 428 milliseconds, and how much data, so what is the size of the response, 1.52 MB, and what is the network you have used, all those things will be provided here. And then you are going to do lot of validations on this API testing, which we are going to see in the subsequent videos. At this point of time, you need to understand under the collection how are you going to create a new request. So it could be a get request, or it could be a post, or whatever the method you are going to, you can make use of this method, and you will have an option of save. Okay, so click on save button, then automatically it will be saved. And what you are going to do is, if at all you wanted to save this information or export it to somewhere, you can do that also, that we will discuss in the subsequent videos. So at this point of time, what you have understood, so you have created POC API, under that you will have insurance API, and then you have your get user, that is the HTTP method, okay, and you saved the details, right? So if you look at save as, if at all you wanted to save as with some other name, like instead of get user, you wanted to change it as user list or something, and select your collection name, and then click on save button. See here, get user list, okay, so like that you will be able to create it. So or else, like, for now what you have done, you have gone to this, and then you clicked on this button, and then you have created a new request, right? Add request, like this you have created. But what I'm trying to do is, I don't want to do it from here. I'll delete this, and I will select my collection, and then I will click on this plus button. Okay. So once I click on plus button, let me take post. Okay. So I'll go to this, and then I'll take one post request. Okay. Don't worry about what is post, what is get, what is the request body, and what is the response body. That we will discuss in detail. Okay, for now just try to understand how do you do the operations on the Postman. Now you open this, and then copy this URL, and then go to post, and then what you're going to do is click on send button. Okay, so when you are posting, right, so just you need to understand one point. When you are posting, you have to send the body. Okay, what you have to do is you have to copy and go here, and then you will have to go to body, and then go to raw, and then select the type as JSON, and then put whatever is there in the uh, request body. You have to keep it here. Okay, let me explain you one more time. So what you have to do is, whenever you are trying to do a post right? Whenever you are trying to do post is used to what? It is going to create the request. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to create this user. So for that you have to provide two inputs. One is name and then job. So this file we call it as JSON. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to copy this and then go to your request body. This is called request body. You have to select body and then select JSON and then provide this here and then click on send button. Okay, once you send this, automatically 201 response will come. So the http code status code is 201. Whenever the post request is successful, you are going to get the response code as 201. If at all it is get request, you are going to get the 200 OK message. And as usual, how much time it has taken, how much response, what is the response size, and what is the request size, everything you will be able to see. And also you are going to validate so many other things like cookies, and you are going to validate headers. So a lot of things we are going to do as part of our API testing. And if you look at here, so this we did not saved it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on save to click on the save button, and then it will ask for the collection name, and you change this entire name, right? Whatever the URL you have or URI you have given, you can change it to post user or create user and click on save button. Then automatically that will be saved here. Okay, so like this you have to work primarily on your workspace and your collection, and then you are going to create these requests. What requests you frequently use? You are going to create either get request, post, put, patch and delete. And what kind of validations you do as part of your API testing? You will be checking the status code, and you're going to check how much time it took. You're going to check how much what is the size of the request and response, and also you will see what kind of headers and what kind of cookies, and how are you going to perform those, and what is query parameter. All those things we are going to discuss in our next video. So this is what you need to understand. For every person, whoever is going to work on API testing, you just need to familiar with these three parts first. One is your workflow, collections, and then request. There are so many other things where we need to know. During our course, I'll let you know the remaining parts also. But in order to get started with the actual API testing validations, you need to be very familiarized with these particular three components. Okay.